Hello, everyone, and welcome to Walking Through the Bible. The Lord gives, and the Lord takes away. Blessed be the name of the Lord. Those were the words of Job given to his wife in Job 2 as the reason that Job would not curse God and die. Job recognized that God was in control and could allow his servants to be blessed or not. And yet Job, through his suffering, felt sometimes that God was distant and seemingly not punishing the wicked for their sins. And at the end of the book, Job was reproved for some of his words as one speaking words without knowledge. Job repented, and the Lord forgave him and restored him. We find some of these same words here in Psalms 10, and yet no reproof from God. No commentary that God, in fact, is not distant and does not hide from those suffering. Why not? Well, it has something to do with the conclusion of the psalmist at the end of Psalms 10. Let's now find out what the conclusion was. So if you have a Bible with you can turn to the book of Psalms to Psalm 10. We're going to be reading from verses 12 to 18. If you don't have a Bible, don't worry, just follow along with us on the screen. The version that we'll be reading from is the New King James Version. So, Psalm chapter 10, beginning of verse 12. Arise, O Lord, O God, lift up your hand. Do not forget the humble. Why do the wicked renounce God? He has said in his heart, you will not require an account. But you have seen, and you observe trouble and grief, to repay it by your hand. The helpless commits himself to you. You are the helper of the fatherless. Break the arm of the wicked and the evil man. Seek out his wickedness until you find none. The Lord is king forever and ever. The nations have perished out of his land. Lord, you have heard the desire of the humble. You will prepare their heart. You will cause your ear to hear, to do justice to the fatherless and the oppressed, that the man of the earth may oppress no more. Mankind can sometimes be impatient, wanting God to act now, in my time and at my beck and call. And so, for the righteous and the wicked, God's delay can cause man to think that God is distant, that he does not see, or that he does not care. It can cause the wicked to become even more greedy or arrogant in thinking that they can get away with even more, even though they haven't really gotten away with what they think they've got away with. But justice delayed is not the same as justice being denied. God always has his reasons for acting when he does, and while he does not always give us his reasoning, nor are we entitled to it, often we find it has something to do with giving mankind an opportunity to change and provide restitution upon those harmed, thus meaning that both justice was done and souls were saved. But make no mistake, if repentance will not be had, God will bring justice, something that the psalmist fully expects and is confident God will do. I don't believe that the psalmist believes that God wouldn't lift up his hand, that God would forget the humble, or that God would allow wickedness to go unpunished and unreproved. It's that in this psalm, the singer would express his confidence in God's action by actually singing for God to act. We sometimes sing the song, Guide Me, O Thou Great Jehovah, calling on God to guide us in our lives. Singing those words do not mean that we were doubtful that God would guide us, or somehow that God wouldn't guide us if we didn't call on him to do so. Rather, these words are expressing our confidence that God will guide us. The same goes here in Psalm 10. The wicked renounce God and says that God will not require an account for their evil deeds. The Lord will. He has seen and observed the trouble and grief of the oppressed, and he will provide justice. God will help the helpless, and he will help the fatherless. God will break the arm of the wicked and evil man, meaning that he will vanquish them and bring their evil deeds to nothing. How and when God does this is left to God, but rest assured justice will be done. Why? Because the Lord, Jehovah, is king forever and ever. He has acted in the past against people and nations that have walked in wickedness, and those past actions are proof enough of future action because God is a God who does not change. He hears the desires of the humble. He will do justice to the oppressed and the fatherless. He will seek out wickedness until he finds none, and he will prepare the hearts of those who desire to follow him in faith for all that he does. That is why this psalm was included. It started out in sadness on what the situation of the righteous feels like, but brings us on the journey of reality, which is, the Lord is not distant. He does see, and he does provide justice, so the righteous person can continue to trust in the Lord and can continue to be happy. We must stop feeling as Christians that we need somehow to completely suppress our more negative emotions, like sadness, grief, and fear, because that might display a lack of trust in God. Rather, we need to control those emotions, acknowledge they exist, but take our minds on the journey similar to Psalm 10. Feeling like God is absent? Okay, but don't let that emotion lead us into cursing God. Rather, let it lead us into reminding ourselves of God's goodness. This has the ability to lead us out of despair and back into the joy of the Lord, while letting sadness take over only will lead us to depression and anger. Psalms like Psalms 10 show us that although God is not distant, we can sometimes feel that he is. But if we remind ourselves that he is not, if we bless God and do not curse, then we are handling that emotion correctly and God will be pleased. God will triumph in the end, no matter what the wicked may think in the moment. With that, our time is up for today. The Lord willing, we hope you'll join us for tomorrow's discussion of Psalms 11, verses 1 to 7, as we continue our walk through the Bible, one verse at a time. We thank you for watching Walking Through the Bible today. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them below. But if you like this video, we ask that you consider subscribing to our channel so you won't miss out on other videos in our series, as well as share this video among your friends so that the saving message of Jesus Christ can go out to the whole world.